The faith to ask. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Therefore I tell you, whatever you pray, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Mark 11:23 and 24. Jesus' half-brother, James, wrote something similar about prayer. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that has been driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. James 1:6-8. After explaining that answered prayer is granted to faith-fulfilled, single-minded people. James cited the prophet Elijah to make his point. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed fervently that it might not rain. And for 3 years and 6 months, it did not rain on the earth. When he prayed again, and heaven gave rain, and the earth bore its fruit. James 5:17-18. For the record, that fervent prayer ended up making Elijah's life considerably less comfortable. The drought that followed resulted in an angry king seeking to terminate the person responsible, per God's instruction. Elijah hid in a ravine where ravens fed him until the brook dried up. His next stop was the home of a destitute widow and her son, who had enough flour and oil for their last meal together before starving to death. Super uncomfortable, to say the least. Elijah brazenly asked her to give him the first portion of her meal. And because she actually complied, the jar of flour was not spent, neither did the jug of oil become empty, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke by Elijah. 1 Kings 17:16. The odd roommate situation intensified when the boy later died from an illness. Elijah prayed that God would restore his life. God resurrected the boy, and the woman said, "Now I know that you are a man of God, and that the word of the Lord in your mouth is true." 1 Kings 17:24. A couple of years passed, and God told Elijah to go back and present himself to the king who wanted him dead. This led to what is arguably the coup de grace of Elijah's prayer. Resume the showdown at Mount Carmel. There he called upon God to consume the fire, a massive, waterlogged wood sacrifice, after asking the idol worshipping Israelites this question: how long will you go limping between two different opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. 1 Kings 18:21. Again, God answered Elijah's prayer. The fire of the law, the Lord, burned up the sacrifice and everything around it. The people fell prostrated and cried, the Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God. 1 Kings 18:39. Jesus told his followers, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. Like Elijah, we humans can only truly believe when we are not double-minded, limping between two different opinions. We can brazenly pray for things like drought, rain, meals, resurrection, and fire from heaven if A, we are not doubting God's ability, and B, we are fervently praying in accordance with his will. The outcome of such prayers will rarely result in more personal conflict, but rather in others saying, I know that you are a person of God, and that the word of the Lord in your mouth is truth. The Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God. Prayer focus. Praise God for his power and authority over all things. Ask him to align your prayers with his will and to approach him with unwavering faith. Thank him for his generosity, giving to those who ask. Moving forward. How does your prayer life reflect your faith? Do you approach prayer with confidence, knowing that God hears and answers prayers according to his will? 2. Do the majority of your prayers involve your personal comfort, or are they intended for others to recognize that the Lord, he is God? 3. List any area in your life where you are limping between two options. What topics tend to incite doubt?